Hey there friends, I'm Jack Taylor and this is the 4 secrets to creating world-ending breakdowns. If you find this video valuable, give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you love modern metalcore and DIY musician content. Because 87% of you watch my videos and aren't subscribed. If you're generous, I also have a Patreon page where you can spare at least £3 per month and you can get exclusive access to my content never seen by the public. And finally, I would like to give a shout out to the company Huel, who are the sponsor of this video. I am wearing their t-shirt. I personally drink their meal replacement and I think you should too. It's plant-based, meaning it's 100% vegan, gluten-free, 26 vitamins and minerals, no artificial colors, flavorings and sweeteners, and offers over 170 health benefits. So if you're a touring musician who travels a lot, spends long hours in the bedroom studio, maybe even trying to lose weight, switch up their diet and go to the gym, then these guys have you covered. You can go use my discount code JACKTAYLORMUSICIAN and get £10 off on your order when you go to checkout. International shipping fees and taxes apply. And with all that said, let's go on with the video. Now what I'm about to show you guys is a pretty simple process, and after watching this video you should know how it's actually done. This mix I have right here is a commission that I've done for the band Unframed, and they are a French metalcore band from Nantes, France. The full song is available on a Spotify platform. I'll put a link in the description below and also a link to their Instagram that you can follow because they got more music coming soon. Now let me play you the full mix and then we'll go what's behind the mix. This is exactly how it should sound for a world-ending breakdown. This is going to bring to number 1, which is guitar layering. Now usually with guitar layering, you might have heard of the term quad tracking, and this is exactly it. Normally we would quad track our guitars to give it a somewhat unique guitar tone by mixing 2 different tone characteristics together to shape how we want our guitar to sound. Now what you're seeing here, these guitars are all recorded with just DI, and I put some amp processing on it. They're all recorded one by one, so they're not just recorded and then copy and pasted, because it causes like a phasing issue. Because what will happen is when you copy and paste it and pan it left and right, it just results in mono signal. So I'll run you through this quickly. We have the overdrive pedal on because I wanted some more pick attack from the guitars with the tone all the way up and the level all the way up, but the distortion all the way down. And this is the amplifier settings right here. Like there was a lot more treble because with the guitars being tuned down so low, which I had it down -12 semitones because the band wanted a disgustingly low guitar tone. So I had to put the treble a bit more than enough and maybe a bit of presence because it was just lacking a bit of top end. And we got this through GDD Studio Cabs Contenders that I've used, and this is the setting right here. Another things I have starting from the top, this is the buster trick I did by giving it some more transient pick attack on here, up by 6 dB around this area of the hertz. What's that, 1700 hertz? And then I cut it down just under 3000 hertz. Then through JST Transify, increasing pick attack in the mid-range. And then I've increased some beef on the guitar using the warm tape saturation setting at 50%, only using Fab Filter Saturn. And these are before it hits the amplifier right there. In a mono signal, this is how the guitar sounds. And both of them together. This is on the quad track part with both left and right. This is a different amplifier that I've used, and that's the setting that I have right here. With the overdrive pedal on again because we need some more pick attack from it, so I have this on. And yeah, I kept the cab here just because I thought it sounded alright with the other amplifier because the phase relationship seems to be like intact with each other. And that's basically what we need for a really disgusting breakdown. You need more low end on the guitars. Else things, we have the overdrive pedal on and nothing else, so no drive, more tone and a bit of leveling, just near about the max. And then through this cab sim after the amplifier, through this cab sim and pretty much with a SM57 dynamic microphone. And I had this toggled off. I'm not sure why I had it toggled off, but I was just playing around with like different microphones and see what tone works best. But for me personally, I just chose the dynamic 57 microphone that works best with the rest of the guitars. And this is how it sounds. And then we'll hear the guitars together with them on. And then we'll hear both of them together. Let's do that. So yeah, nice and beefy in the mix together. And now we come on to number 2, which is impacts. They create emphasis to the breakdown from structure to another structure of the track using sub-drops, slams, and hits. You can use things like one of JST's Chaos packs that I normally use personally, or you can use Heaviosity Damage 1 or 2 that you could probably make something out of, whatever works well for you. You can also use JST Sub Destroyer that you can make sub-drops with. I'll play this with the FX on and off so that you can get a glimpse of it. And that's with the FX on, off, sorry. So with sub drops, this is the plugin that I've been saying about earlier that I mentioned, is Sub Destroyer, and you can use that as a synth, but mainly I just use it for making sub drops, and that's the whole purpose of using it. You can go on the trigger bit, set a frequency where it starts before it gradually comes down. This is how it sounds. So this is the start frequency, and that's the end frequency, which the lowest is 20 Hertz. I'm pretty sure you could go lower than that, but that's the lowest. This is where it starts, 58 Hertz, and it tells you the pitch name of it as well. And then you can adjust the length of it, which is how long it gradually comes down to a certain frequency. And once you've done that, you can press fire to see how it sounds and if it will fit well. And there's an impact in there which is blended in with the sub drop to make it sound like it's an explosion. So here's how it sounds. So yeah, like an explosion, and with the sub drop makes it even better. And this is with everything together. Now I just want to note one thing. So this is put in a separate bus. So I have the instrument bus where I have the drums, bass, and guitars. And whereas the rest mix, I have just the vocals, FX, and leads, because otherwise it sucks the whole mix when the impacts hit, because like if you put it in the instrument bus, so like even everything else in the instrument bus, and you have impacts in there, it's gonna suck the whole mix, and you don't want that. And this is all before it hits the mastering chain, so please take note. Bunch of other things which is not like necessary for adding impacts, but we got snare bombs, like that. Let me mute the rest of it. So that's snare bomb, which is just a lot of reverb, heavily compressed, and a bit of EQ work that I've done on it. And then you got like the Slipknot kind of sound where you just use like junky stuff or even percussion like that. So just with the snare bomb itself. And now we come on to number 3, which is sustaining leads, and this will add more character to create an eerie and tense feeling to the mix, like it will make you feel like something bad is about to happen. You can do this with either using a guitar by adding a bunch of effects like delay and reverb, so you can get like a sustaining guitar lead, or you can use a saw synth, which the band actually has used in this one by using Analog Labs 5, I think it's called. I'm not sure what their setting is on there, but I had to tell them to bounce down the whole MIDI because I didn't have the plugin. So I told them to bounce it down, and this is what it came out with. So basically what I think there is that there's some vibrato in it, maybe a bit of chorus, reverb, as well as just distorting the whole saw synth. Of course, there's a bunch of other plugins that you can use to create this sort of thing. You can use Native Instruments Massive, or you can use Serum, like anything, whatever works for you. You just have to choose the saw synth setting try distort it a bit and add a bunch of effects on that, so just a bit of playing around. And there's also another one that I want to show you. Well, it's sort of like a lead, but it's more like a scratchy noise that you can hear in the mix when you hear like the world-ending breakdown at the end of this mix. And this is what it sounds like. Now, it's been done by using a pick on the guitar and then you're scratching it against the strings like that is what's creating that effect. Other things you can do to make a sort of similar sound like that, you can use an E bow on it and place it against the strings and put your finger on some like treble notes, whatever the pitch you prefer on it, and just add a chorus on it, maybe a bit of reverb and some phaser on it, and you can just make it sound more eerie like that. I'm not saying it's how it should be done like that, but it's just an idea that I would be giving you guys to sort of like create a sound that you can do with your breakdowns. So basically just mess around with ideas, fuck with the sounds, and you'll get what you want. And finally, we come on to number 4, which is crushing the mix with clipping. It sounds quite irrelevant because it's more focused on the production side, but I just want to mention that just because there's something special about clipping the mix when it comes to like a world-ending breakdown. And this is using a plugin called Flatline 2 by Submission Audio. Now, the reason I mentioned this plugin Flatline 2 is because I use this on all of my mixes, and I mean all of my mixes, that I love crushing the life out of them, especially when you have these sub drops in there like that. Now, this gets better. Now, what I'm basically using Flatline 2 is to shave off the peaks of this mix, but I'm also distorting it, like kind of like saturating it. But like it not only just makes it louder, but it's saturating it. So this is the setting I have here, so which is nearly at minus 10 dB of gain reduction. The shape at 90%, which is like a bit of hard clipping there. And the output at just -1 because I didn't want the mix to clip. Yeah, and this is on the clip setting, and that is how it sounds. Well, I'll let you hear what this is actually taming. So this is quite a lot that I'm actually taking off. The sub drop hits, it basically just sucks it in. Like it just gives it like a low, like distorted, eroded feel to it. So here with that on. And now with that off. So without that, all you're hearing is just a normal sub drop on there, but it's not like being crushed by it. Saying that, if we have a look at what it's taken out, this is quite a lot that I'm taking out, and I shouldn't have it at that setting, maybe coming from you professional mix engineers, but this is how much I'm taking out. So yeah, and that is basically a lot that I'm taking out. So what is mainly just eyeing on is the actual low end of that sub drop. It's so low that it will just suck the life out of the mix. But at the same time, I like it that way. Like, I love crushing the mix so much, and I'm sure you guys do as well if you ever done it. With that being said, only remove what you feel is the best to be removed. So like you can start from 0, and then you just gradually move this up as you're listening to the track. Like mainly if you're just mastering it, but at the moment I'm not mastering this, but I have it on just about here, yeah. That is pretty much the setting. So as you're mastering this, like gradually pull down the threshold, and if you think it sounds good and it's not crushing it too much, leave it. So we just went through the 4 secrets to creating world-ending breakdowns, and I hope you learned something new out of this. If there is something that I missed out in this video that I should be mentioning, then drop it down in the comments below and I'll pin it wherever is valuable. And if you got any questions, drop it below and I will answer as honestly and as soon as possible. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel to see more videos in the future. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and bye for now.